for you. We hope you are happy with us. We would like to have some sort of forum. If you have questions, just put your hand to ask it. Today we want to tell you a little bit about our projects and what we've done the last 4 years. We have run a few projects. Maybe you've heard of some. We did the IBM AMRO hack. We did something with Telfor. We did some freaking projects. And we're still running some projects. We're doing some stuff with prepay, the high prepay cards from KPN, a Dutch telecom provider. We're doing some stuff with the CD phone. It's a telephone book on CD-ROM, and we're playing with it. We're also doing freaking a little bit. First of all, I'll tell you a little bit about klaphek. Klaphek was founded in 1996 by Sir Listerik and a few others. They published the first magazine on paper. In the magazine there was a list of 1,000 phone numbers of payphones, well-known KPN telephones, triangle format, the green ones. What was the trick? In Holland, the telephone operators say a telephone, a payphone, doesn't have a number. We say, oh, it's bullshit. Why do we say that? You know, it's a lot of possibilities to fraud. But with payphones, if you give them a number, for example, you can make a collect call to a payphone. We thought that's bullshit. So we figured out a method to figure out the number of the payphone. It was really simple actually. It was just dialing the 0800 number and write down the telephone booth where it's located and the telephone number. We did it for a service provided by PTT itself.
That's actually a 06 number.
Yeah.
Not more precise about it. Toll-free number.
So it took us around a few months, and we had a list of around 1,000, 1,500 telephone numbers. We published it, and the editor-in-chief at that moment, Sir Listerik, he got arrested. Not really arrested.
He was arrested, but it was totally unrelated to anything he did for the magazine. But it did have the consequence that he withdrew from the magazine. Well, that doesn't stop us, so we continue to publish 2 more magazines before the hip game.
What was he arrested for?
Well, I'm not into details of the case, but they, as far as I know, they suspected him of being in a criminal gang of hackers, and I believe they suspected him mostly about phone fraud, but it turned out to be nothing, so the case was dropped and nothing heard of later on. So maybe they just wanted to get some more information as well, because they seized all klaphek related stuff as well, even though that was totally unrelated to this case. I don't know the exact details, but it's never gone to trial or anything.
So we published 3 paper magazines. After that, we were all busy with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But we still wanted to publish. So a year later, we decided to publish online. The big advantage of publishing online is you can publish only 1 article at a time. The other advantage is you don't have to keep track of all the addresses we change all the time. We are hackers. Well, we're not living to keep a database with all subscribers. It's a lot of work. So we decided to publish online, and right now we published
There's
4,
nothing
5,
happening
6,
stakes
7,
right now.
8
There's no social.
klapheks. Something like that. 5 klapheks, I think.
Yeah, we're now at 8.
We're now busy with 8. It's already published. And we publish online at our website, www.klaphek.nl. And it's going okay. Right now there are a little bit less articles, but we would like to, if you write for us, And we're still running some projects. First of all, we can tell a little bit about the project we've done. An interesting project is the IBM but also I can tell you about what it was for the people who are not from London.
Yeah, okay. People are interested. Actually, the ABN AMRO stuff did not start out as a project for klaphek. I'm a student of the University of Delft, and I need to do some security auditing for a security course. So I was a customer and still am a customer of the ABN AMRO Bank in Holland, and I had this little thing where you can dial into ABN AMRO and do your banking stuff through your computer. So I was curious how it worked. So with a friend, we started out fiddling with the program and with a nice little device you got with it. It's like a little calculator. I don't have it with me. It's a green thing with some buttons on it, and you get a number from the bank and you type it in, and then on the display there's a code, and then you type in your code in the computer, and that's authorization for your transactions. So we played with that for a while, and then we found some really nice CGI demonstration program that did verification of the numbers you entered. So we reverse engineered that. So that gave us the algorithm for that little device. Unfortunately, we could not hack the cryptographic algorithm. But then we started paying attention to the other parts of the program, and actually the whole hacking of devices is totally unnecessary. And the actual hack is rather trivial almost, because it turned out to be very easy if you have a program running on some victim's computer to manipulate the database with all the transactions and other information. And if someone wants to pay someone money, types in all the information like name and account number and amount of money, and then just before it gets sent to the bank, it's simply possible for another program to change all that data and send it to some completely other account, and then the poor victim authorizes this other transaction with this device without even noticing it. So we found out that the low-tech hacks are actually the most effective, and no need for any reverse engineering of hardware devices. And by accident, at some klaphek meeting, there was an editor of a TV program that was, they were doing a documentary of computer security, so they thought, wow, that's a nice topic. And well, okay, go ahead. It's an academic paper about this, about the securities and insecurities of ABN AMRO's home banking system. So they published it, and when they showed it on the television, then all of a sudden, all kinds of reactions by the consumer organizations stating, well, this must be fixed tomorrow morning, and there must be zero bugs in it, and stuff like that. And it was more of a reaction than we expected, because, well, the actual hack is simple, but, well, sometimes simple is effective. And now they've released a new version that's totally online, using web browsers. Well, that may make some nice new project to show that the real problem is that personal computers are not secure, and that has nothing really to do with the banking program you use. It's extremely simple in this case. If you build another program, it still depends on the security of the PC, and we all know with all Trojans and other stuff that the average consumer PC is totally insecure. So that's basically it. And well, the nice thing about starting this project as an academic research thing is that we have a very happy relation with the bank, and they thank us for all the valuable input instead of threatening us with jail and huge fines like it is in the the magazine, it's mostly in Dutch, but some articles, like Bill's articles, are in English. Actually, I've seen other people doing some translations about some of the articles. Even if you don't know it, there are still maybe some English versions as well. But if you want to contribute, it's okay if you write in English. This is for another project.
Something else, what we did was actually really simple. I wrote an article about Telford payphones. As I told you before, in 1996, we published a list of phone numbers of the payphones. And a few years ago, they introduced the Telford payphones on the central station of almost every town. The funny thing of it was, in 1996, the KPN telephones, when they figured out to get color phones, they said, we make a one-way line of it, so you can make only outgoing calls. It's not possible to call a payphone anymore. So that made it impossible to make a collect call to a payphone. But Telford was a little bit stupid. They took over the phone lines of KPN. They simply replaced the telephone booths from KPN with the Telford ones. They changed the line to just a normal line, so it was possible again to make a phone call to the telephone booths again, the payphones. So we thought, oh, that's funny. We just took our list and we looked, oh, there was an old KPN itself. And we made a phone call, and yes, it worked. Wonderful. So we tried to make a collect call, and yes, wow, that works too. So it was possible to actually make a phone call. So we thought, oh, that's cool. Let's make an article of it. So we published an article in klaphek, and actually nothing happened. Nobody actually gave a reaction until there was somebody from the press on one of our monthly klaphek meetings. And I told her, I said, wow, wonderful, that's great. So she wrote an article for it in English. And then it was a big hype, and some people had some contributions. I think RTL4, they made an item about it, and then it was big news. And, wow, it's actually nothing. It was just a really simple, it wasn't even a hack, it was just something, a little thought of me. I thought, oh, maybe you can try it, and I tried it, and yes, it worked. So that's what we did, and something else we did in the freaking area was, in Holland we have the Coinfox series of telephones. In Deutschland they're called the Clubtelephon 4, if I thought, 4. One of the interesting things is if you take out the cover of the telephone, there are more switches and buttons than there are buttons on the front. And one of the buttons gives you the possibility to get into the configuration mode. And here in the configuration mode, you could tell them how much you have to pay for a telephone call and all kinds of other stuff. It's possible to make free phone calls. There was the option to say, can I have private calls for the owner of the payphone? You can say yes or no. You can put it on yes. There was at the right side of the payphone, there was a lock, a really small lock. If you turn it with a key, it's also in a free calling mode. As I'm also a member of the Nederlandse Vereniging van Hang- en Sluitwoord, www.nvhs.nl. It's a lockpicking organization in Holland. I tried to lockpick it, and yes, it worked. It was really easy. It's a really simple lock with only 2 pins or something like that. So we could make the phone calls. The interesting thing was actually the cover where the switch was under was made of plastic. So you just take a small nail and take a lighter, heat it, press through the cover, and then whoa, you press the button. And that was interesting. And there were still some other tricks with it. You can read it on our website. It's in Dutch, but it's cool.
Couldn't try this at home.
Oh no! It's just with your own Firefox. I forget to bring it. I'm sorry.
You have
Yes, of course I have one. we only try with our own first. We don't have to tell you. You already do it. The other actually projects were already finished. And we already have also some running projects. One of the projects is the live replay project. Maybe Tim will
well, we want yeah. If it's yeah, let's make sure.
Okay, so some time ago we became interested in these yellow cards. We used to upgrade the credits selection bar. And first I'll explain you how this card works. First you buy it, and then you have to scratch off this little surface here. You see the number. When you dial your provider, and see you dial 9 and the 50-digit number. Okay. So and then if you dial it right, then you'll have 25 gigabytes extra credit. So we noticed that on the bottom of these cards, right here, there's a serial number. And if you compare these two numbers, they look very similar. So we got curious. Okay, the first 6 digits are the same. What about the rest? So we started collecting these cards and entering them into the database. And we found some interesting properties here. For example, it turned out that there was a nice linearity between the number of cards and the upgrade levels. Then we could also divide it into 2 groups.
Yeah, and based on some very simple things like you can divide the serial number of the card in 2 parts, like the batch number and the sequence number in the batch. And you can see that the batch number is also represented in the update number. And if you have to take the last 2 digits of the batch number, and if they are identical, so the batch number, the last 2 digits are divisible by 11, then you are on line B, and else you are on line A, and stuff like that.
Yeah, we still haven't figured out how exactly it works, but we keep collecting cards and we hope we get further. I just gave you 200 cards there, there's 3 more.
Yeah,
We need much more.
yeah. So if anyone wants to help out, just collect cards, and we're very interested in them, because we are actually this problem digit by digit. And well, if the worst is true, for every digit we need 10,000 more cards.
Yeah. Worst case, we need 10,000 cards and we don't have 1,000.
Well, that was the opinion of some professor, right? I think it's correct.
Yeah, worst case. It's just,
Yeah.
if the last 5 digits are in, then we need even more.
It's kind of sad that I figured that it would be easy to get 10,000 cards, but hopefully from 5,000 or whatever. They 50-cent card has 3 people get cards, and pay them 25 cents, and the other 25 cents each cover the overhead. That's sort of work all the way into that. Apparently they're just too greedy.
I think we contacted some loan organizations. So you could collect these cards for us. It pays better than deposits on locals. Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea,
But then I think one of these organizations thought we were criminal people, and
Yeah, they didn't trust it, like we paying
they thought
50 cents for the worthless cards, so that they didn't understand that.
yeah.
You're scary, you want to pay for something that's worth nothing, because
They thought do criminals, but we can't. We want to do
You
just.
just hackers.
Yeah. I mean, you try to do charity and you get this.
Yeah. So we're still in pursuit of the last 5 digits. We managed the first 10, so we're making progress.
Yeah. But yeah, if you find any of these cards, we always pick them up everywhere. We're just almost like bombs.
And if you like to play with the numbers yourself, just go to the website, hi.streetcalls.net, and the whole database is online. And if you
Find
find
a play with the numbers
Yeah.
and find other interesting properties. You can also submit numbers if you want. So you don't even have to send it to cards to us. The way we will check if the data is indeed valid. I think we will quickly notice that you got your fake number.
Yeah.
This is John. I'm over at C1.
Well, we didn't use this thing because it's well, the linear properties we saw until now are so obvious if you just
Yeah, we maybe have to explain a little more.
yeah.
There are 2 numbers we're talking about. The atomic number is on every card, that's the serial number. It's an 11-digit number.
And it's consecutive.
Yes, every following card,
This is Sean.
the serial number increments with 1. So if you have one card, well, the next card, and so on. The number under the scratch there, we call it the operator code. It's a 15-digit number. And the first 6 digits are exactly the same as the first 6 digits of the serial number. That's open. If you increment the serial number with 1, the operator code will increment somewhere between 0 and 25,000. So if you just try at random, you buy 1 card and you try at random, you have once in 25, around 25,000. They say, oh yes, you got $25 extra on your calling balance. Well, some people I heard of, I haven't seen it. They made a script for their telephone and they just tried everything at random, and it seems that after you try 100,000 times, they throw you off the network. So that's not really interesting. I see your sheets. We have some sheets. We gave actually also a presentation about this on the Congress of the Gas Computer Club last December. Somebody here might know how to work it. Yeah, okay.
People with really sharp eyes clearly see the linearity needs to drop. Well, maybe it's for after the talk. If people are interested, just talk to them.
You've been able to reduce the number of digits on these cards from 15 to 5, which of course is ridiculously weak cryptographically.
Well, it's still a lot of work to try 100,000 times. So
Definitely, but cryptographically seen, and we're talking money here, so this is the area where you want to do cryptography. A similar thing you've done with the ABN token, as far as I've understood, also reduced from 6 digits to 2, 3, I don't know anymore.
Okay, let me put something straight here. You're not going to make money with this.
no.
Okay, sure, but what do the companies think? That you're stupid, that you're not creative enough to find something as similar as the first 6 digits are the same? Why do companies do this? Why don't they use decent cryptography, like public key cryptography that's been around for years?
Well, public key crypto is not necessary here because they need to maintain a database of every card anyway. So if they just have a very good random number generator, that should suffice, but apparently they do not. Or maybe the last 5 digits are indeed random. we don't know yet. Maybe the first digits are just a checksum to keep people that get tired from making mistakes. I don't know.
So you're first cracking it, and then you're saying it's not necessary to have crypto. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense that they're using a computer algorithm to generate the numbers.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be such a stupid algorithm.
Yeah.
Well,
It's difficult to make a random number algorithm that outputs this data, you know?
Oh, of course. I was just saying that the uncertainty from one card to the next is a factor. But if it's from between 0 and 20,000 for the next card, it means that you can theoretically get it 10,000 tries. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
you see you kicked off after 100,000 tries.
We actually think there is a relation between the serial number and the operator, but we have some really nice graphs. They don't look random, I don't think so. And so we continue to figure out, and if you want to help, you are welcome to help. Actually, we would love it if you help, try, give us some suggestions. That's probably.
But before you think of criminals, this is not anything a criminal would have some use with. Because if you suppose we hack this, the method is known, people start upgrading their phone. They can always trace you back to your phone. They can trace the number back to the shop where it's sold. If you guess a number and somebody else complains, it's quickly known that abuse has been done.
It's also
Well, that's another question. Your phones are not really anonymous, but
also a couple of little details on GSM. There's also the issue that only a certain limited number of cards are active at any given time. The ones that are sitting in the shops are active. New numbers that will be valid eventually have not been turned on yet. And I would say it's really criminal, but the real hack of GSM is to bypass the whole authentication system altogether. I think it gives you a much faster.
But potentially you could deactivate a whole series of activated cards once you figure out which ones are activated and you're in the script line.
Too much noise up here. I could not really said the microphone.
Once you figure out what series is currently activated through your database of all the numbers figured it out, you could potentially deactivate that series. It would be at that given time, no one would be able to upgrade their credit.
But it looks like for the cards we already found that are like 1,000 for a year or something, it looks like they all use the same algorithm. So if you figure out the algorithm, it doesn't matter if they disable a edge or not. I don't think they use small parts of the algorithm which are different for badges of a few thousand cards. I don't think so. You can see our figures.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, this one is first, and this one is also a picture of the card itself. If you just, you see in the right lower corner the serial number and the update number in the middle. And then the graph in the lower part is if you take the last 5 digits of the serial number, multiply them with a constant, in this case 12,380, and then
that was found to
yeah, there's nothing real scientific about it. And then compare it with the last part of the batch number, of the update number, then you get this graph. So you see that it's there are at least 3 groups. One near 0 where it fits nicely, one that also has the same coefficient but is off by some other constant, and then it this way, then it becomes more clear. In this case, we only take. Sorry, those are actually are the same things. Only here we sort it to the whole serial number, and then here actually the upper one is actually the same graph. Only we sort to the last part of the serial number, so only the last 5 digits count, and then you can see that those seemingly random numbers form another line that's not so heavily occupied, and that's in the lower graph where we try to figure out the other constant, like the upper one is with constant 12,380, and the lower one is with 11,250 or something like that, and then you hit almost on there. But then you see that it's not a real straight line, and there's some, well, it's not exact. So we try further, and then we looked into more detail for the okay. Here is the upper graph with the only the 12,380 points on it, and the other are thrown away here. And then you can see that actually it's a kind of staircase function where there is well, there are some straight lines, and then it's a little, it becomes less clear on the edges. So which one are you looking at? Those are you can see them here as well. These little groups. No, those are off the front. And then only the middle part, but you can see here as well that this part is less occupied and this part is less occupied. And actually we found a function to determine in which of these groups a card will be. So if we compensate for that and just try to make one graph by compensating for this constant and compensating for these staircases, we get something like the lower graph. And actually it looks much more fuzzy, but the scale is different, so this is more precise than the other graph. And well, we're trying to make sense of this thing now, and really we're not finished yet. So the formula we do have is here. Little pseudo code. So the first thing, check A, is whether there is this line of 12,380 or the one of 11,250. That's simple, just look at the last 2 digits of the upgrade number, of the batch number I mean, and if they're identical, it's A0 and A1. And then there is the second one is the estimate for the which of the 2 groups in the previous graph, and then there is some calculating that's compensating for the staircase.
But if you want to have a number or another one, maybe
Yeah,
view it on the website and
yes, more information is here. And we just figured this out by playing with it. We're not cryptography experts. So if we can do it, you might as well. So anyone interested, please come and help.
we could use your input.
And we can do it.
Yes, and you can use our database with almost 1,000 numbers we have right now.
Yeah, well, actually there are only 816 now because we still need to get in.
Somebody wants to volunteer to all different There's a question.
The 2 lines, the straight line and the cross line. So you try to compare the dates, if it's part of the straight line and the cross line, if they're from the same dates.
Could you
Actually,
speak a
change
little bit louder?
From the straight line, you draw two lines, a straight line and one that was crossing down and one that's crossing up. You
Yeah,
try to compare if the dates on the cards from the cross line, the cross that goes up and the straight lines are the same.
Now we probably need the serial number. because there's
No
really
dates.
on the card.
There's no date.
There's no date.
We got it in Denmark, there's a date on it.
There's just general expiry date.
Oh, yeah,
But then,
here's what's on the card. And
The only date is here.
yeah, date is expiry date, and it's identical for most cards. It's some, well, once or twice a year it changes, but
Yeah, they changed the design and then you have to look for a new design.
yeah, they made a nice new purple cards now, but
In euros and not in bills.
yeah, so they put a lot of money into having a flashy new design, but making a new algorithm that's better was way too expensive.
At least with the design and you know what you get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cryptography is part of it.
No. Oh, this works at this. Point strong crypto. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the other. Or someone has one question.
Yes, I have some remarks about this. Several years ago, I worked with this company, and we have had the same discussion then with the gold card hack. What their actual policy is to estimate how long it takes to get hackers through it, and to be 1 or 2 years in front of them, and then change the number in the systems. So you have now 9 months being busy purposing that you're busy with it. So you have 4 months left.
Yeah. That's good.
So we need those cards.
Well, that's the whole discussion about hackers and criminals. Why are we doing this such as an open project? We put it online and just telling this story.
We were doing it for the girls.
We're not criminals, and we just want to make fun and figuring out the algorithm. That's a goal on itself. We like it.
Yeah, we think it's a good sport that the KPN is making choosing this algorithm where we at least have a chance, because they could have just used a real random number generator and we couldn't show any of these graphs.
We might have tried it in the first place.
Maybe you should use gold card hack results and input this case. As long as you do research,
You think the only
you
change
get
is coefficient?
data, you get techniques, and you can maybe get it a little faster.
Well, if they do it properly, we don't have any chance.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we move on to another project we're running, klaphek currently is currently we publish not too fast. We publish a few articles once in a while. Main problem of klaphek currently is we don't have some active editor. In the beginning we had Sir this week. He was really active. He told everybody, oh, write articles, do this, do that. He was a little bit our leader.
Then a scary experience.
And then I did it for a few years. And I told everybody, wow, write something, we go online. And yes, we already published for a few more magazines. But right now, I went to college, everybody is busy. We're still what? We still have jobs and all that kind of crap. But we still want to write a lot, but we need somebody, someone, or anything, who likes to play with technology and yeah, we have those people, but who has a lot of time, not necessarily a lot of time, but wants to put a lot of energy in klaphek and make sure that klaphek will publish a lot of articles online. And we have some new ideas about making a forum on our website, so anybody can write an article for klaphek. And if you really think everybody can write it, but yeah, if you
Don't know, we need better marketing department.
then everybody can give a reaction. For example, you write an article about some topic and reading topic, and somebody goes, "Oh, I know this." And you can write it down. It's really easy to just write 4 or 5 lines.
Yeah, we found out that we're a bit too much one way. Like we write some articles and publish it, and then people reading it, oh, that's or well, that sucks. But nothing else. But we would like to accomplish is more two-way communication between any of you, because well, we are here together now, but this is only once in 4 years, and if you count the CCC camp, it's once in 2 years. But that's not that much, and it's thanks to the internet, it should be possible to have these meetings, virtual meetings, all the time, and they don't have to be exactly at the same time, because you can use a forum or something like that, so you can do it in your own time. So
that's what we're planning. We're planning to set up a forum on the website. People, it doesn't matter how technologically savvy you are, you can just post your questions there, somebody will answer, you can answer questions, you can blame somebody, whatever. Just keep the discussion going about topics. And who knows, you might get a nice article out of it. So, yeah, to keep the hacker community alive. In the old hectic days, the news groups on the internet were very alive and a good way of communicating hacker tricks to each other. Then the internet got really crowded, and spammers discovered news groups, so nobody uses Usenet anymore. Oh, yeah, maybe a few people do still. I don't know. I mean, if I post an article, they know my email address, and I get lots of spam. I don't want that. So maybe we should set up a web forum just to keep the hacker discussion going.
and also, if you think of a neat project wants to start, and say, well, I'm just by myself, then just announce it and try to get people along with it.
I mean, we can do it all alone.
No, the fund is doing it together with this project, and that's something we want to do with klaphek to make our project more open and accessible, because probably for most of you, this is the first time they hear of the project, and we've been working on it for more than a year. So,
But what you said about the two-way communication from encouragement, we do get feedback. I think 50% of that is, hi, I'm under hacking. Can you tell me I want to hack email? Can you tell me how to do it?
yeah, I need somebody's Hotmail account.
Yeah. No, my girlfriend just walked away with some guy and I need to hack his Hotmail account. He'll tell me how to do it. Yeah.
So actually we need serious inputs, and if there is somebody around here who would like to coordinate and be active in topic, talk to us. It's, email us, everything's possible. Actually, we only have 1 more minute, so we're going to tell you a little bit about our meetings. We organize every month, right now. Yeah. We all organize meetings. Hans going to tell you.
Okay, on meetings. Every second Sunday of the month, there is a meeting taking place in Utrecht. We'll come together at Utrecht Central Station, start at 2 o'clock and continue, well, until around 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. It started quite well. 10 to 25 people attending each and every meeting. The last time only 3 attended, most likely because the discussions weren't coming off the ground. So what we are trying to do, or what we are trying to start up again, is have a meeting every second Sunday of the month, using them for discussions, using them for discussion of new projects, possible new projects, discuss work in progress, like the high prepayment card, things like that. Perhaps even build it out in some kind of presentation, or with some kind of presentations as well. So if you want to join, please come next month, second Sunday of, what is it, October? September, to Utrecht. Start at 2 o'clock. We meet in front of the GWK Bank in Central Station.
Yeah, just look for the suspicious looking people.
They know us now.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, as long as you're supplied.
Okay, that was all about the meetings, I would say.
Yeah. So we have to get more projects going. Yes, we like your participation. Well, we have three calls, and we're also planning to work more on the CD phone guide. And some very nice people, a program called PhoneWeb did on a lot of work already. Some people have been too lazy to do. But we like to take it further and make it into a good, useful program for everyone. So that's one of the other examples. Yeah, that's
Are there still questions? Okay, then I would like to thank everybody for listening to our conference.
I think I just got come off not listening to the radio I don't have.